Hi class! I'm really sorry I couldn't be with you today for nature journaling, but I can't wait to come back next week and see what you've done. We're going to start class with a little quote by John Muir. I know you guys have heard me talk about him before. The quote I want to say for you today is, "Of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt." How many of you have taken some dirt paths lately? Has anybody gone out for a walk and taken time to notice the nature around you? Okay, what are some things you've seen? Raise your hand first of all if you have taken a walk outside this week. It doesn't have to be on a dirt path. Anywhere outside. Anyone? Okay, if you did, what did you see? Did you notice clouds or birds? Did you notice the sounds around you? Maybe you noticed your cat or your dog and you just noticed some new behavior that they were doing. I want you guys to really take time to just go outside, whether it's on your back porch or for a 10-mile hike with your family. Go outside. Notice the sounds of different insects or frogs, birds chirping. Just listen to it and enjoy it. Okay, for today, my foot's being attacked by a cat, speaking of animals. For today, we're just going to do kind of a free nature journaling. So I'm going to have you look through the different insects and nests and different things that we have in our class collection, or look through the books that we have in class and just find something that interests you. So I've talked to you before about micro and macro, right? So micro means what? Teeny tiny details. And macro is like the big picture. So when you're thinking about what you want to journal, you could be thinking you want to do micro, like just a detail of something. Like we talked about cicadas one time, and I had you look at the cicada wings and just like the detail on their wings. The same thing with dragonflies. Their wings are incredible. Things that you just might not notice if you're just looking at it flying through the sky. Or you could do something macro, like if you're talking about jellyfish on a beach. Maybe you have a memory of going to the beach and seeing a jellyfish. So for your journal, you could do like the ocean and the beach and kind of show there was a jellyfish and this was me and my sister. You know, kind of show us what your experience was when you saw that. Or you could do both. Like maybe on one side of your journal, have like a big scene of where you saw something or where you experienced something, and then on the other side, maybe do like an up-close account of it. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go through the books and show you some of my favorite things. I love this book. This is all illustrations, but they're just so detailed and wacky and cool. So here's like an armadillo. I think this is so cool. How many of you have seen an armadillo in Missouri? Just like running across the road or something. So this is a different type of armadillo, but you could maybe like draw an armadillo that you've seen and then like draw this and maybe write down the things that you see that are different. So like, is the tail different or is the tail the same? And do you remember we talked about every time that we journal something, what do we write? We write, I notice. What is something that you notice about it? And then next we write, I wonder. What is something that you are just curious about? It doesn't have to be something that you already know the answer to, just something that you are wondering about it. And then last, it reminds me of, and then tell me. So if you were, and now I lost my armadillo page. If you were drawing that armadillo, you could say, it reminds me of the armadillos that I see running across the road in Springfield, Missouri. Oh man, so here's a really cool page from the same book. Again, these are just illustrations. Look at those scorpions. Do you remember the scorpion that I brought in, that I found in my bedroom, crawling across the floor? So I would see this, and I would say, it reminds me of the scorpion I found in my room. Or it reminds me of, do you know what that reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a lobster. So I wonder if those are related somehow. Here is Wild Animals of North America. So this one is actually photographs of animals that you might see around here. Let's see. Here are some different types of rabbits. You got the Arctic hare, a black-tailed jackrabbit. Now, we don't have these in Missouri, but it reminds me of the bunnies that I see hopping through my yard. So I notice, I wonder, it reminds me of. Oh, black bears. I've seen these in the wild a few times, never in Missouri, but I've seen some in Minnesota one time. And I've seen them at the zoo. So that's the same type of bear that we have at the zoo. Here's our bird field guide. This is for North America. All kinds of birds that we would find around here. Different ducks. We've got mallard ducks, male and female. So just pick something. Pick something from any of these books. Oh, we've got plants too. A book of flowers. Or if it's a beautiful day and your substitute is up to it, they can take you on a walk outside. You can pick some grass. You can get chased by a wasp like I just did. So yeah, you can pick some grass. You can find some leaves from a tree. Bring this back in. Trace it. Notice the veins on it. It doesn't have to be something super spectacular in order to be able to do a really cool nature journal with it. Sometimes the very best things are the things that you just find around your house. And again, we've got a plant book. So these have some plants that would be native to the area and then some plants that you're not going to find around here. We see this, don't we? You might see that and just think, oh, that's a weed in my yard. But look at all the stages that it goes through. I guess it goes from that. So we talked about life cycle at the very beginning of the year. So this is like the life cycle of a dandelion. And it shows the seeds and how the seeds are spread. Okay, different trees. So you can find just different trees. Maybe show their bark, different seeds, the way they bud. Okay, does anybody have an idea of what you want to draw yet? Okay, so just go through the books, find something cool. These are probably some of my favorite books to look at. So go through, find something. Make sure you write, I notice, I wonder, and it reminds me of. And when I come back next week, we're going to go through and I want everybody to show me what they journaled for today. All right, see you later.